Hello, good afternoon. So you are the first speaker. Okay, is Gergely Padani Gulias here in this room? No. Mario Carrera.
Yes, the second one.
Yes. Is Agatha Brook in the room? No, okay. So we start with your presentation.
Yes.
We'll have lots of times for your question. Okay, so we are going to start this afternoon session, since we are running a bit late. The first speaker is not in the room, so we will start with the second presentation. From Mario Carrera, and he's going to tell us about the GVC suite. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. I'm going to speak about the GVC suite. That is a complete catalog of open source software solutions for geomatics. It's probably that probably you have seen some project during the conference, some case study. Now I'm going to speak about the whole suite with the different products. Before starting, I'm going to speak about the organization who is managing the project, the GVC Association. The GVC Association was born in 2010 within the frame of the GVC project, and it's the entity that is managing the sustainability of the project. It's the entity that guarantees the sustainability of the project. It's composed of different companies and non-business entities like public administrations, geographical institutes, etc. And it has the model of the GVC Association is based on the shared knowledge and the collaboration. It offers different services, for example, training, supporting developments, etc. Here we can see some of the main projects of the GVC Association during the last years. For example, for the managing the petroleum in Venezuela, for the Munich City Council in Germany, for UN Habitat in Kenya, for 200 cities to analyze the urban areas, or another ones, for example, for cadastral management in Mexico. Here you can see some of the recognitions of the GVC project. For example, the NASA the NASA Europa Challenge awarded, the Europe Challenge awarded by NASA during the last 3 years. And I want to highlight the first prize in cross-border category at Sharing and Reuse Awards of the European Commission in the last year. The GVC project is translated to more than 30 languages, all of them by volunteers. It's downloaded in a lot of countries in the world. There are several mailing lists for users and developers, and in different languages. And there are conferences about the project in different countries during the year. I'm going to start to speak about the GVC suite. The GVC suite, as I told you, is a complete catalog of open source software solutions for geomatics. There are 3 horizontal products that are the main products that are GVC Desktop. It's a desktop GIS for editing, geoprocessing. We can apply, we can create 3D views. We can create maps, etc. We also have GVC Online, that it's an integral platform for spatial data infrastructure implementation. We also have GVC Mobile that allows to, it's an Android application for field data gathering. And there are other products that are sector products. In this case, we have GVC Crime. Probably you saw the presentation yesterday for crime management. We also have GVC Educa for education, or GVC Roads for roads inventory and conservation management. And in the future, we plan to publish another products. For example, for water management, it will be another product maybe in the future. The components of a geographic information system are the spatial data infrastructures with geoportals, the map viewer, the map servers, databases, etc., the desktop GIS, and a mobile GIS. They are corresponding with GBSIG Online, GBSIG Desktop, and GBSIG Mobile, the three main products of the GBSIG suite, the horizontal products that I told you. They are open source, they are interoperable, they are integrated, they follow the main standards, and they are built-in. As we can see here, they are connected. We can share information between them from desktop to mobile for field data gathering. From mobile, we can upload the information to the server, and it can be viewed on the map viewer, the geoportal, and we also can edit the information of the geoportal from GBSIG Desktop, for example. The GBSIG suite has a professional support given by the GBSIG Association. And this association is guaranteeing the sustainability and maintenance of the project. I'm going to start with the first product, or the main one, is GBSIG Desktop. It was born in 2002, and in 2004, we released the first version. It's a desktop geographic information system that is available for Linux, Windows, and Mac. And there are distributions, there are portable and installable distributions. It's translated to more than 30 languages. It's very user-friendly. It can be customized. We have a scripting model. You probably saw the presentation 2 days ago about the scripting in GBSIG with Python. And it's a GIS and SDI client. Here you can see the main type of documents that we can use in GBSIG Desktop. We have the views, where we can insert the cartography. We also have the attribute tables of the vector layers, and also independent tables that we can load in Excel format or CSV file, for example. We also can create charts that are from the numerical information of the attribute table. And we also have the layouts that are the graphical output of our views. In reference to vector data, we can manage the vector data. We can apply symbology, we can apply labeling. We also have a lot of geoprocesses to apply. We have vector editing. We can edit the attribute table and the graphical part of the vector layers. We also have field calculator, for example, and we can export the vector data to another formats. For example, we can export to PostGIS. It's one of the options that we have in GBSIG Desktop. We have query and information, tools, etc. In reference to geoprocessing, we have more than 300 vector and raster geoprocessing modules. In the last version, in GBSIG 2.4, is the last version, there's a new plugin called Horton Machine with 200 new geoprocesses for hydrological analysis, etc. So we have the main geoprocesses like buffer, intersection, difference, merge, clip, etc. And we also have, we can manage the digital elevation models. We can create a digital elevation model from a control line layer, and we can apply different geoprocesses from the digital elevation model. We also can manage raster data, and about that, we can manage the bands of the layers. We can apply transparency. We can vectorize. There's a geoprocess that allows us to vectorize a raster layer. We can manage the histograms, and we can apply filters, for example, and we also can apply color tables. We also, from GBSIG desktop, we also can access to the different web services, the OGC services like web map service, web feature service, web coverage service, web map tile service, and we also can load Google Maps layer and Bing Maps, and also OpenStreetMap layer. We can connect to the server and load different OpenStreetMap layers. We also have catalog and GasDir clients in GBSIG. Here you can see another type of documents. We have, for example, the 3D part in GBSIG. We can create extraction. We can, from the digital elevation models, we can apply the raster on the digital elevation models, etc. And a very interesting tool in GBSIG is the symbols management. We can create, we can load the existing symbol libraries, for example, for criminology, for forestry, for urban management, etc. And we also can create our own symbol libraries. If you have your own symbols in a folder in your computer, you can create a symbol library, and you also can create a package that you can share with the rest of the users in your organization. It's very easy to do it. There's a lot of information about that. So you can use, all the organization can use the same symbols, sharing between the different users. The second component, the second product of the GBSIG suite is GBSIG Mobile. It's a geographic information for mobile devices for field data, very useful for field data gathering. It's very useful for inventory, for reviews, inspections, etc. We can apply symbology and labeling to the vector layers. We can edit, we have editing tools. We have GPS support. We also can access to OpenStreetMap or Web Map service as a base layer. Here you can see the main, several screenshots of the main menus. For example, we have the first one is the main menu, second one is the viewer, and in the third one, for example, we can export data from GBSIG Mobile to GBSIG Online. We can import data, we can work offline, we don't need internet connection, and when we have the data and we have Wi-Fi or internet connection again, we can export the data to GBSIG Online. So we can see the data in the viewer in an easy way. There are two plugins in GBSIG Mobile, for GBSIG Mobile that we can install in GBSIG Desktop. The application GBSIG Mobile is available in the Play Store, so you can download it from the Play Store in your smartphone from Android 4.4. It's available from Android 4.4. So here you also, at the GBSIG website, you also can download the application. You have the direct link. And there's a plugin that allows to share information from GBSIG Desktop to GBSIG Mobile. So for example, if you install this plugin, you have the option to import tiles in GBSIG Mobile. For example, you have an orthophoto in GBSIG Desktop that you want to export to GBSIG Mobile. This way, you don't need internet connection. You can load this base layer to work in a concrete area. You can export these tiles. It's an MB tiles file. You can import this layer as a base layer in GBSIG Mobile. You also can import bookmarks. For example, if you have the coordinates of the different buildings or important locations, you can import a CSV file with this location, with these places, and you can see the different points in GBSIG Mobile. In GBSIG Desktop, there's a new plugin that allows you to create forms. So you can create your own forms with combos, with the different fields. You can create sections, And inside every section, you can create different forms. For example, for inventory, a section called inventory, you can create the light streets, the fountains, etc., the different type of layers that you can use to take for field data gathering. So you can create a different fields like combos, or you can take pictures, etc. There's another option that allow us to create to export vector data from GBSIG desktop to GBSIG mobile. From GBSIG 2.4, there's a new option, a new database support that is Spatialite. This is the format supported by GBSIG mobile. So now you can export, for example, you can export a shape file in GBSIG desktop to Spatialite, and this file can be loaded in GBSIG mobile. And then you can edit this Spatialite data in GBSIG mobile. You also can load a web map service, as I told you. And now I'm going to speak about the third main product of the GBSIG suite. In this case, it's GBSIG Online, that is an integral platform for spatial data infrastructure implementation. So the characteristics with GBSIG Online, we can share information in an easy way. For example, you can create a project in less than 2 minutes. You can publish information, you can publish different type of layers, and it's very, very easy to use. It's connected with GBSIG desktop and GBSIG mobile. As I told you, you can export data from the different applications of the GBSIG suite. Here you can see one of the main examples. It's the geoportal of a city council in Spain. They are using GBSIG Online for the different viewers. They have more than 20 projects, public projects, because they have also private projects to manage geographic information between the different departments. But this is one of the public projects. In this case, they are using GBSIG Mobile to manage the inventory of the municipality. For example, the fountains, the parks for the children, the street lights, etc. They are using GBSIG Mobile for field data gathering. They are taking photos, pictures, etc. And they are publishing this information on the website. The projects that they have for the citizens that are public, for example, like the urbanizations, the environment, this one about the inventory, etc. They have about 20 public projects in their geoportal. Here you can see one of the main picture, the main screenshot of the application, of the viewer. You have the part with the cartography. You can create layers and groups of layers. You can apply the legend, the different types of symbology. You also can create your own symbol libraries, for example, to apply the same symbols to another projects. There's a control panel. You have a browser if the entity doesn't have, or the city council, the municipality, doesn't have a known street, the street lists. We can use OpenStreetMap, for example, to look for the different streets. We also have the graphic scale, etc. We can edit. There's a basic editing tool in GBSIG Online, so you can edit using the browser. It's very useful to create new points, new lines, or polygons. Or, for example, here we can see how we are editing one of the streets. If the user that is accessing to the geoportal has editing permissions, we can find a new editing tool, editing tools bar, with the new tools to edit the different features. Here, I don't know if here it's internet. Maybe I can try at the end. And for finishing, I'm going to show you several GBC case studies that we have received in the different conferences. There have been several presentations in the different conferences around the world. For example, we have this one. They are using in Italy and Slovenia. They are using GBC for forestry, firefighting, and environmental management in the provinces between Italy and Slovenia, in the northeast of Italy. In this area, they are using GBC desktop for office work and GBC mobile for field work. Also, close to Guimarães, in the Minho River, there's an entity that uses GBC to analyze the contaminants and salinity of the river. Another case study is this one for leather products in San Francisco street market, in a street market in a city. Another one for the municipal cadastre in Mexico. They are using GBC desktop. Also this one in Russia, they are using GBC desktop for protection of cultural heritage in a concrete region of Russia. They are georeferencing images, as you saw in the screenshot. For example, in Cuba, there's an entity that is using GBC for forestry management. Another different case study about climate change problem, to study the climate change problem in Ethiopia, for example. Another one in the city of Munich, another one for senior citizens maps. This one in Italy about public transport infrastructures in the city of Brescia. And another case studies are, for example, in Algeria, in Spain for the local police. This local police, for example, is promoting new tools for the GBC crime product that is developed, and the local police of Castellón in Spain, they are promoting new tools that will be included in GBC crime. And for example, in Brazil, in Venezuela, for the petroleum management, etc. About GBC mobile, for example, one of the case studies is for mapping invasive species in New York, or in Zimbabwe for create a land use survey. Also in Mexico for field data collection about geological and hydraulic surveys. And in the International Union for Conservation of Nature, they are creating the spatial data infrastructure, and they are using GBC mobile for field data gathering, and GBC Online to publish the data. GBC Online is used also in the Agriculture Ministry of Valencian Regional Government. This is the presentation about Libra that was given yesterday to manage the subsidies given by the European Union. And for example, this one in the Institute of Cultural Heritage in Spain, to compare data between the heritage and the weather. They are using GBC Online. For finishing, here you can see there are a lot of documents, tutorials that are free. For example, a course about learning GBC desktop, in this case in 30 minutes, learning GIS for free, and another 2 specific courses about municipality management and crime mapping. They are YouTube videos. The first one, for example, municipality management, has 24 videos. Is the complete course. You can also get the certificate. And another one, for example, learning GIS with Game of Thrones. If you like, there's a tutorial that uses cartography adapted to this series. And you have the blog of the GBC project, where we are publishing all the information about new releases, new versions, new plugins, the conferences about the project, etc. All the information is published in the blog in different languages, and the GBC website, where you can download a GBC desktop and where you can find the information about the conferences, or where you can download also, where you have the link to download GBC Mobile. And thank you very much. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Mario Carrera?
It's clear.
I think it was clear. So thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So do we have Gargalis, Padani, Gulias in the room? Okay, so we follow to the final presentation from Agatha Brock.